Yep, what's going on, guys? Just doing another check-in here on those Turo vlogs. As you know, my name is Ricardo. The channel is Luxuriant Rental and Autos. We give you guys, just a day in the life of running a Turo business, man. On the way back from Daytona International Airport, just picked up this minivan. The guest had this one for 3 weeks. This is the Voyager. Look just like the Pacifica. This one has 7 seats instead of 8. Great renter. Kept the car clean. Not as clean as I would say it's clean, but very clean in terms of how a lot of people return these cars. So nothing bad to say about that. Gas tank filled up. You like to have guests like these, man. Smooth process, take care of your car like it's theirs. Great communication. Sometimes you have guests that, for example, his trip time ended at 2:30, and he let me know from yesterday, like, hey, I think our flight changed. I think we need to be at the airport by 9:30 in the morning. So is it a problem? Can we change? And I'm like, absolutely not. I have no problem changing your trip time. So as you see, I'm here picking it up at 9:30 in the morning, rather than, I have instances where I have people supposed to drop a car off, say, the same day off, and they're letting me know 30 minutes in advance that, hey, I'm heading to the airport, I'm dropping the car off, when their trip is not even scheduled to be finished until 3-4 hours time. So in situations like that, you have poor communication, and it kind of, will send you into a spiral of frustration, because now you have to either drop what you're doing or just figure shit out to go and get the car, especially if it's one of those rentals where you don't have an agreement to park the car with the lockbox. It's something where you physically have to meet the guest to collect the car. Because you do get reservations like that where you got to meet them for the vehicle and collect the vehicle. And sometimes those are the ones, man, that, they throw a wrench in your situation and will tell you. Like, I'll give you a story. I had a guest that was supposed to meet me so I could collect the car at the hotel, and then they would take the hotel shuttle to the airport. So that was the plan. So, I'm like, okay, I have almost 3 hours to head on that side of town because I was busy doing something else. Mind you, it was now probably about 1 o'clock. I know I had to be at the airport for 5 to by the airport for 5 at the hotel to grab the car, and then from there they would figure out how to get to the airport. Because of the situation, they extended the trip. It's a long story. Extended it. They're aware that the return wasn't going to be available as planned because of their change of plans, change of flight, multiple changes. So now they were just supposed to hand off the vehicle because I was not getting paid for delivery because of all the modifications. So they were aware that they're giving me the vehicle right outside the airport and then take the shuttle to the airport from the hotel. 1 o'clock come, we're like, where are you? We're at 20 minutes.
Ahead on East Colonial Drive.
Yeah, as you can tell, GPS telling me what's going on. So, as you can tell, they're like, oh, we're 20 minutes from the airport. Can you meet us? Mind you, this is now 3 hours before the trip end time. I'm like, no, I can't meet you. I said, no, what you're going to do is now you're going to put the car at the hotel, give the front desk the key, pay for a day parking, right? And then when I get the time as scheduled for 5 o'clock, I'll come and collect the car. He wasn't too happy about the resolution, but I had to explain to him, like, listen, you can't make last minute changes like this without no communication and expect things to go your way. Everybody's time is, it's precious to them. People have things to do. Your time is precious just as much, because if you feel like your flight is going to leave at such time, you wouldn't want me to be there just chilling, not picking up the car on time, and allow you to be late to drop the car.
North Avalon Park Boulevard.
Right? So our time is precious, and it doesn't matter. Sometimes you got to let these guests know, and you got to put them in a situation to understand that not only because you're paying for the vehicle and I'm expected to get a great survey for my service, which communication is a part of that service. I'm not going to stoop and bow to you guys' level, and communication is a big deal. And I tell them that even in the welcome greeting, let's stay connected, let's stay communicating. If there's any updates or any changes, reach out. And everybody says, yeah, sure, no problem. But when it's time to communicate, some of them don't. So that goes to say, man, treat your guests like how you would want to be treated. And if communication is a big factor, which it is in this business, you have to have great communication. And it's just so easy, and it makes the process so smooth when you have guests that communicate effectively, and it just make the process smoother. And at the end of all trips with great communication, 5 stars across the board. Even sometimes if they had maybe a little hiccup, like, they say, okay, the tire light came on, but I put air in the tire and the car was fine. It wasn't slow leaking or anything, which here in Florida, especially with the heat, sometimes the rubber expand and it loses air. Because, and if you're driving and the tires get hot, things happen. So, things that would happen. And with great communication, we talk it over, and at the end of the trip, 5-star service. Sometimes people rent the vehicles, they don't know where certain things are. Like, I had a lady that rented the Volkswagen Tiguan. She called me and texted me almost every day, where is the volume button on the steering wheel, where is the change track button? But she was an elderly lady, and I understand, and I provided that service every time. She didn't know how to turn off the interior light, she didn't know how to open the sunroof shade, all of this stuff, but I communicated effectively with her and she loved it. And at the end of the trip, 5-star review all across the board. She even left me, she had some type of fancy phone magnet for cars. She left it for me. I don't use it, but just little things like that. People appreciate your service, timely response, communication, and it helps you at the end of the day. Even if things weren't 100% to the guest liking, which I try not to have any issues at all with any of my vehicles, just off communication alone, responsiveness, that takes you far. That goes a long way. So I'm just basically saying that to say this, guys. If you coming in this business and you want to be successful, just make sure your communication is on point. Make sure you know how to have a conversation, hold a conversation, respond to people's questions, speak to people. If you have a rebuttal or anything at all, just understand you know how to speak so people could get your point of view. Another instance where I had a guest was very upset in the beginning, but through communication, she calmed down and she apologized. Parked the vehicle at Sanford Airport in hourly parking lot. Her flight was delayed. She didn't let us know the flight was delayed until after we texted her, like, hey, you're coming in the next hour, so we left your vehicle in hourly parking. Now, parking in hourly parking at Sanford, you're going to pay about $6 an hour, right? But if you're in an hourly parking lot and you rack up a couple hours due to cancellation or delay in your flight, you're talking about $28 you're paying. So that's what happened to her. Her flight was delayed for 4 hours. So usually you're going to end up paying what the daily rate is for the hourly parking, which is $28. So she called me riffing like, hey, you parked the car in an hourly parking lot and now I gotta pay $28. Who's responsible? I'm like, you are responsible for the parking. She's like, am I gonna get reimbursed? I'm like, unfortunately, you're not gonna get reimbursed, but let me explain to you how it works. Because sometimes people just need explanation. They don't want to feel like you're being dismissive. They don't want to feel like you don't give a shit. So the explanation was, I was like, hey, based on Turo terms and parking rules at the airport, we're allowed to park that vehicle within, I think it's 4 hours of your arrival time. So within that time frame, I parked the vehicle an hour and a half before your arrival time. So you would have at most paid $10 for parking which is definitely more reasonable for people, because I've had people there for maybe 2 hours, pay $12. They don't even question it. They just pay it and go. You know what I mean? So I'm like, unfortunately, your flight got delayed, and not only you told us your flight was delayed after we parked the vehicle, but do the whole day of communication and letting you know what we're doing and where to expect the car, and we're about to head out to go park the car. And we saw you read the messages, and at no point at reading the messages you say, hey, by the way, let me let you know my flight's delayed. So unfortunately, the lot that we're allowed to park the vehicle in for you to pick the vehicle up, unfortunately their process is, if you don't pick it up within a certain time, you're going to end up paying the daily rate, and that daily rate was $28. So we do apologize for the inconvenience, and unfortunately, that's what it is. So she didn't respond to that message, and then the next morning she's like, you know what, you're totally right, it's my fault, I didn't communicate properly, and this is the reason of not communicating properly, because you guys did every now and again send messages, notifications about leaving, parking the car, where the car was, and I didn't express none of that to you guys until after car was parked and you guys left, that my flight is now delayed, so I'm not leaving and won't be at the airport at 1. But now I'm not only going to be at the airport at 1, my flight is not even leaving until 3 p.m. from my city. So I totally get it that I end up picking up the car 5 hours later, or 4 or 5 hours later, and I'm being charged that amount. So it's perfectly fine, and I get it, but we'll communicate moving forward for pickup and everything else. And that's kind of what it was. And I just tell her, like, hey, if there's any way I can help you to smooth over that $28, because sometimes people just really don't have it, you let me know. We could work something out where instead of you sending me a full tank of gas, on the return, send half a tank of gas. You know what I mean? Let's split the difference. She said, no, everything is great, but I'll let you know. And I get it, because sometimes people travel on a budget. So to spend $28 on something that you weren't expecting, that could throw a wrench in your situation. And I know people out there will say, well, if you're worried about $28 of vacation, you shouldn't be on vacation. Well, you can't speak for everyone. You don't know how stressful their lives are. You don't know how long they've been saving to go on this trip. You don't know what their plans are, how they got to accommodate their kids. So $28 might not be a big deal to you, but for them it might be a big deal. Some people, even though they might have it, they just have a budget and they want to stick to that budget. And sometimes it's not about what you want to spend. It's just, how your money is. You don't know her business, her situation. Maybe she's strapped for cash until more money come in. So until that money come in, she got to monitor what she has. But, I don't want to take it to another thing. I just want to, express to you guys that communication in this business is the utmost importance. You need to have great communication and make your process smoother. It can streamline your daily activities for picking up cars, dropping off cars, things of that nature. And yeah, man, thanks for tuning in, tapping in with us. It's Luxuriant Rental and Autos. We're in Orlando, Florida. We're gonna have the link in the description so you guys can see the cars we have, see what's available if you want to support us. If you're not the one coming to our city and you have someone coming to our city and you want to have them use our service, that would be awesome. We appreciate that. And apart from that, please guys, it means a lot if you guys can support the channel. Subscribe, share, click the bell for the notification, so whenever I upload another video, you're one of the first ones to see it, see the updates. And a lot of these YouTube videos or Turo vlog videos that I post, it sometimes will have new information on changes and procedures that Turo have us as hosts going through. So if you want to get into the business, you will, be abrupt and you'll see those changes as well. So thanks again for tuning in, guys. Until next time, take care.